For 16 years, I believed I had the perfect family. My wife, Sarah, was my college sweetheart, and together we had a beautiful daughter, Emily. Our life looked like something out of a dream: family vacations, birthday parties, Sunday dinners with my parents and in-laws. Everyone adored Sarah. My mother called her the rock of the family. I thought I was the luckiest man alive. But that illusion shattered on the day of Emily's 16th birthday, when I finally revealed the truth everyone had kept hidden from me. It started a year earlier, when I noticed strange behavior from my family. My mother and sister would exchange glances whenever Sarah spoke. My brother, usually cheerful, grew distant. When I asked what was wrong, they brushed me off. Even Sarah seemed more nervous lately, guarding her phone, taking long walks alone, and deflecting any question about our past. Still, I told myself it was stress or age. We'd been married nearly 2 decades. Small cracks were normal, right? Then one night, while helping Emily with her school project, I stumbled upon an old photo album. Inside were pictures from when Sarah was pregnant. I noticed something odd: a photo of her with my best friend, Mark. He was holding her belly, smiling warmly, almost possessively. I'd never paid much attention before, but suddenly, something about that picture made my stomach twist. Why was he there so often back then? And why had my family never mentioned it? I couldn't shake the thought. Over the next few weeks, I quietly dug deeper. I went through old messages, bank statements, even confronted Mark. He laughed it off, saying I was paranoid. But his smirk told another story. My doubts grew unbearable, and I decided to get a DNA test. First mine, then Emily's. The results arrived in a plain envelope a week later. My hands shook as I opened it. The paper said what I feared most: Emily was not biologically mine. The world seemed to collapse around me. My wife, the woman I'd loved since we were teenagers, had betrayed me. Worse, my family, my own blood, had known. I confronted my mother first. She broke down in tears, admitting that years ago, Sarah had confessed everything to her. "You were broken after your deployment," she sobbed. "We didn't want to destroy your happiness. You loved Emily so much." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. For 16 years, they'd all lied to me, to protect a woman who had destroyed my trust. That night, I sat alone in my study, staring at the DNA results. Part of me wanted to pack my bags and disappear. But another part, the one that had endured every lie, every smile hiding the truth, wanted something else: closure, justice, revenge. That's when the idea formed. Emily's 16th birthday was coming up, a grand event Sarah had been planning for months. I decided that would be the day everyone finally faced the truth. I played my part well. I smiled, helped with decorations, even bought Emily a beautiful necklace. Sarah was radiant that evening, proud of the life she'd built on deceit. My family gathered around, laughing and celebrating. When it was time for speeches, Sarah handed me the microphone, expecting my usual sentimental words. I looked around the room, taking in every familiar face, people who had chosen silence over honesty. I began softly, thanking everyone for coming, talking about how much Emily meant to me. Then I said, 16 years ago, I became a father, or so I believed. The room fell silent. I pulled a small box from my jacket. Inside was an envelope, the DNA test sealed with my signature. I handed it to Sarah and said, "This is my gift, to you, to Emily, and to everyone who thought I should never know the truth." Sarah's smile faded. Her hands trembled as she opened the paper. Gasps echoed around the room as she read the words. Emily looked confused, my mother pale. "How could you do this now?" Sarah whispered. "Because," I replied calmly, "you had 16 years to tell me. You chose lies instead." Tears streamed down her face, but I felt nothing. The pain had burned out long ago, replaced by cold clarity. Emily ran to her room, sobbing, while the guests stood frozen. My mother tried to speak, but I raised my hand. "Don't," I said. "You all had your chance." I turned to Sarah one last time. "You stole 16 years of my life. Today, I'm taking them back." With that, I walked out, leaving behind the house, the party, and the people who had betrayed me. The days that followed were hard. Emily refused to talk to me for a while, but I didn't blame her. She was innocent in all this. I sent her letters, explaining that my anger was never for her, only for the deception that surrounded us. Eventually, she reached out. She told me she still saw me as her father, the only one she'd ever known. That broke me more than any betrayal could. Sarah tried calling, apologizing, even begging for forgiveness. I didn't answer. Some wounds don't need closure, they need distance. I filed for divorce and moved to another city, starting over from scratch. My family tried to reach out too, but I couldn't look at them the same way. Trust, once broken that deeply, doesn't rebuild. A year later, Emily visited me for her 17th birthday. We went for a walk by the lake, and she said something I'll never forget. "Dad, thank you for telling the truth. It hurt, but it set us free." I smiled through tears, realizing that though I'd lost a wife, I hadn't lost the only bond that truly mattered. Looking back, I don't see myself as a victim anymore. I see a man who faced the truth, no matter how painful, and found peace in honesty. The revenge I took wasn't about humiliation, it was about reclaiming my life. And on that day, when I walked away from 16 years of lies, I finally stepped into freedom.